And welcome back to JKLive here at Citizen Television. He is speaking literally with the future of Kenya. Right next to me, Joki Kariuki, Vice Chair at JKUAT. Right next to her, Anthony Manyara. He's President of KUSO. Right next to him is Ikram Amina, Academic Rep at KU. And on the far end, Marco Laboso, President, Daystar University. Young folks talking about the future of Kenya and what they think about our present leadership. And by the way, speaking of which, when we were growing up, guys, in general, when we were growing up, we had names like, I'll go way back, James Orengo, people like Kabando wa Kabando, Mwandawiro Mganga. Those were student leaders that we all knew growing up, and they were very famous. Do you remember those names? By the way, do you remember those names at all?
Yes.
You remember? You all remember?
Yes, Jeff, especially, what was it,
Kabando wa Kabando. You remember him?
Yes, and his story is quite enlightening.
Yes.
You see, Kabando wa Kabando, he had to use that name to conceal his tribe. And that time in Kenya, tribalism was very high. And that was 1992, and he managed to get the seat, and later he became the MP of Mukurwethi constituency.
Correct.
And even us as leaders, we should see how in future when we get those positions, we're able to help and give it back to the comrades.
Sure.
Especially.
Ikram, what happened to you guys? I mean, we never hear of you guys. You're not making enough. No, what is it?
To be brutally honest, the draconian bill that was put, they killed our dreams as student leaders while on heavy allowances, and they did the autopsy on paid retreats.
That's being brutally honest, Ikram. Brutally honest. Okay, Anthony, what happened? You guys, you're not as vocal. Even I called you the Babu of today, right? Yeah. I didn't even know you'd be the Babu, but you are. I mean, you're obviously the Babu. But we never hear of you guys.
Jeff, I really don't understand why you haven't heard of me. But I've been the chairman of all university students in the entire country for the past 4 years now. Jeff, just to take you back, you have just mentioned very famous names, the likes of Kabando wa Kabando, the likes of James Orengo. These are people who have served before me. They have served as SONU chairman. Now, all the universities, they act as springboards for young leaders from the universities to national level. Currently, Jeff, and I'm saying this, I mean, in front of more than 6.5 comrades who I represent nationally here at this point.
Oh, 6.5 million?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
When I say that myself, I have potential, there's a bill which was advanced by Duale. It is the University Amendment Act 2016. It came to oppress students in essence that students can no longer elect their representative directly. They have to elect through delegates. It's an American system. Now, it is very hypocritical when we say that we elect students this way simply because they don't represent the interest of students. Just like the way we had the Bonchari constituency elections. If you tell people now to form a small team which can elect Pavel Oimeke as their MP, then the will of the people is overturned. So we don't have really the direct power of the masses. Now, you feel
you don't have the power anymore.
As we speak, Jeff, I have done 6 petitions in the National Assembly as a chairman to try to overturn that bill, the infamous draconian bill of Duale. And as we speak currently, after Duale was removed as the majority leader, I went ahead and came up with, I have signatures of more than 24 MPs in the National Assembly, sitting MPs, so that we can be able to see whether we can be able to bring back this power that was taken from students. Even as we speak, I just want to confirm to students out there, everyone who is watching me, this is a fight we are still fighting, and we will, towards the end, we will win.
Joki, your thoughts about this? I mean, you guys, we never hear of you guys. We've never heard of you guys. Or maybe we have, or maybe a section of the population has.
Yeah, to add on onto what he has said, the delegate system, it came, I think, around 2016, 2017, and from there, it's only like, you see the way there are schools inside the main school, like there's
the departments. So each of the school, it elects one person who will be the delegate. Now that person is the one who will vote for you. So you can find, like in JKLive, there are around 214 spread across all the campuses. So those 200 people are the ones supposed to vote for us, not the majority of the people. So now it's them that we talk to. Not as much as we'd have the popular vote for everyone else, not everyone will vote for us, just the specific.
And Marco, that's the same bill you were saying that brought together the 2 Daystars, right?
Yes, and I think we should be blatant about it. And you see, Jeff, when before Duale brought that bill, what was happening in the universities? We had interference from politicians. You know, people came and sponsored students, and you would see riots, and you would see that that property was being destructed, and it would even go to the extent of comrades dying. Indirect democracy is democracy. Let me give you an example, Jeff. In Daystar University, we have a Congress. The Congress was elected by the people, and the Congress came and voted me in, and I won by a margin of 94%. Still, the will of the people was done because these people voted in the Congress members. Yes.
I'm
Jeff,
Go on.
Let me tell you, let's take an example of Burkina Faso, where Thomas Sankara was a student leader, and he was there for the rights of, he fought for the right of democracy.
Yes.
So when you say that indirect democracy is democracy, you know by rule of law that the bylaws should be in tandem with the law of the country.
Yes.
The law of the country in Kenya is popular votes, but ours in university is delegate system. Yeah. That in entirety is illegal. We just don't have any other word to say about it. It has reduced our power as student leaders, and we just look funny in front of our students and administration.
Jeff, let me add on that.
Good point, Ikram. Good point. Go on.
Let me add on that, Jeff. When I speak here on the bench, I'm speaking on behalf of more than 72 universities in the country, and I speak more than 252 TVET institutions in the country. All these institutions, they have elected their representatives. They have elected their chairmen, their chairpersons. These people, not all represent the students. Some represent the interest of the administrations. And the students, when the administration is siding with the student leaders, the students are oppressed. Now, if you look at very many institutions after the Duale bill was introduced, very many students have been suspended. Some have been expelled. Now, there are some serious universities like Daystar, where my friend comes from. That university has got some honor. We are not likely to get scenarios of the administration trying to infiltrate the interests of students. But in the University of Nairobi, for instance, if you have a tendency of students not electing one of their own directly, then the university administration will look for a funny student leader. They install, by the way, Jeff, personally, I will just say that student leadership in the University of Nairobi, I wouldn't want to say that I was hatched through the Duale bill, simply because I served in Sonu from first year to third year. Then I came to UNZA, which is the new dispensation. So, Jeff, when I tell you the fact that this country, they came and imposed a law which is very infamous, which is very oppressive, which is a draconian bill among students. When I say that, Jeff, I say because I feel it. Because all these students have been complaining, and most of them, even the student leaders, when they face this kind of troubles, who do they go to? They come to me. Yeah. So, Jeff, it's something which we are likely to expand in the near future. Yeah.
You agree, Joki? You agree?
Yeah, I agree with him. But it also has a few pros, not only cons, because like it says that it says like for example for JKLive, the chair has to come from the main campus, but the vice has to be of a different gender and also come from a satellite campus, which is good because at least it advocates for women to be in politics as well. Yes.
Maybe in 20 years' time, this whole country will be different because of you guys. Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. Marco, you were mentioning corruption and leaders infiltrating universities a moment ago, right? Yeah. And, you know, that is the talk out there. People say all of you student leaders must have political godfathers. Looking up, you must. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, and actually, Jeff, that was the first step. You see, when I declared that I'm going to vie for Daystar University Students Association president, a lot of politicians came in and they wanted to sponsor me. But I was brave enough and I became resilient and I never took any politician's money. So even it was a challenge for us as a family because student politics, unfortunately, these days, you have to get into your pocket and you have to spend some money. And all this is because people are emulating our leaders in politics, and it's getting to the universities where even if you have a 5-point agenda, even if you need to speak to comrades, you have to facilitate them with lunch. And that's the problem. But on corruption, I'd like to say that it starts in the university, and that bill they're telling you, what they're not also telling you is that before that bill, you would find student leaders, especially in a university like University of Nairobi. A student leader is given a budget of 40 million to handle, and they go and squander the whole money. You see, in this after the Duale Act right now, in my university, if I want to do an event, the dean has to approve, and money comes out, and then there is at least some oversight. But then you find that if you're giving someone 30 million to handle, he's never seen money in his life, he's just become a student leader, he's going to become corrupt, Jeff. And that's the problem we have.
Absolutely. Ikram, you're nodding, hold on. You're nodding your head, or you're shaking your head.
You know, we should ask ourselves this question. Why are these leaders using us? Why, Jeff? Because...
Are they using you?
Not me.
No, not you.
But
in general, yes.
In general, yes. You know, youth inclusion is just on white paper and prettily discussed in panels like this and also in boardrooms. But after that,
people forget. People move on.
True, Jeff. If we need to change this narrative, we need to include youths. I think of if we're having affirmative actions for women and disabled people and minority, why not include youths? Why should we not have a youth representative in upper and lower house?
Yeah, great, valid points. Anthony, do you have any godfather? You seem very connected.
Jeff, first of all, let me just reply to my friend Marco Laboso.
Yes.
He talked about something about SONU, having student leaders being used by politicians. You know, before Duale Bill, the politicians were using students maybe to cause chaos, and Duale Bill came to, you know, to solve those problems. Now, Jeff, I happened to serve under Babu as a SONU chairman back in 2016 when I first came to office representing School of Built Environment. Jeff, if I can tell you honestly, even the budget which is allocated to SONU, it's around 40 million, sometimes it oscillates to 50. When I was chairman, it was around 35. Jeff, if I tell you as a matter of fact, University of Nairobi has got perfect systems. Remember, this is an institution which is used for research. You cannot squander money there just anyhowly. There are a lot of bottlenecks. You have to account. Even myself, when I was chairman, you want to account for monies which you give for bursaries, you know, club, all these kind of activities. Now, Jeff, as a matter of fact, when I became chairman, I'm very sure this road, State House Road, you've never seen chaos. No car has ever been, you know, there are no stones which have been thrown to cars. We brought calm to the university. We didn't bring calm because of Duale Bill. It is the leader. Myself, I have ways of solving issues.
Tell me how. Give me one way that you have. Give me
First of all, Jeff, sometimes negotiation works. But beyond negotiation, that is when you can act. For instance, presently, we have a direct war with HELB, simply because HELB has not been released to students for a long time. Now, if negotiations fail, we'll go to the streets. You can see we have had a COVID-19 pandemic. People have been restricted to intermingle, but immediately the president opens the country, simply because there is a national issue. we'll go back to the streets. We'll go for Ringera.
Oh.
So there are a myriad of issues, a plethora of issues, which we are able to tackle.
Okay, you didn't answer the question, Anthony. Do you have any political godfathers?
At the moment, no.
You're laughing. You're laughing because
yeah, at the moment.
You don't have one, or you don't want to tell us who it is?
Well, I have several. I learn bits from each and every person. Even you yourself. For instance, I've read your book through my African eyes. I've learned one or two pieces from there.
Okay.
I've seen that you come from nothing.
But someone political. Go on, mention a name.
Yeah?
Mention a name.
Sometimes I learn a bit from Francis Atwoli. Other times I learn from Raila.
Allah?
Yeah.
Allah? Jockey,
yeah.
You're laughing as well. Any political godfathers on your end?
No.
You don't need it. Yeah, you're your own people. There you go. Let's take another break, come back. I know there are a lot of questions coming in thick and fast. Great leadership here on the bench. Marco Laboso, Anthony Manyara, Jockey Kariuki, and Ikram Amina. Remember these names, folks. The future of Kenya is right here on the bench. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya, the hashtag JKLive. JKLive takes a break. We'll be back.